Noble lords of Cinder, the fire fades. And the lords go without thrones. Surrender your fires to the true heir. Let him grant death to the old gods of Lordran, deliverers of the first flame.
And then a welcome to spooky other bonfire. I'm gonna head back though, even if it's slightly anticlimactic. The Flameless Shrine. That's a cool name. Few things to pick up on before we wrap this up entirely. First of all, I want to pay a quick visit. I have 16,000 on me right now. Let's go ahead and sell a few, you guys. That'll get me close, really close, yeah. Just need 30k. Oh, I overdid it a little bit. That's fine, it's not a big deal. But I gotta get me that slab. There it is. Don't want to forget about you.
Ashen.
See you later, buddy. One last detail. Oh, wow. I just realized one last little dark detail here. So I recognize this as these are being coffins or tombs originally. That made sense. I could tell what they were. But what's going on here is this whole cliff is eroding away, and because the graves are in such a bad location, you can see their headstones up there and stuff like that. The earth that the coffins were contained within is eroding away, and that's why they're slanting down like that, like they're ready to go tumbling off the cliff. And here's one last detail. This is what I was coming here for, and it took me a while to find it. But it's really hidden away. So on the path up towards Firelink, you have to go down this little thing, and there's a blind spot. And here, it's actually a little hard to make out, but if I'm correct, that should be Cirrus's corpse. Yep, Sunless Talisman, Sunset Shield. So that is the talisman from Cirrus, and the shield from Hodrick, her father. Two last little details to be found. Let's go take a... Oh god, so many items. I forgot how many items there were. Sunset Shield is a 100% physical defense Parma. I think it's a Parma, I'm not sure. It's a strike shield, so no parry. D scaling with strength. Shields of the Holy Knights of the Sunless Realms, engraved with a brilliant flame crest that burns brightly within the Order's customary sunset colors. This design symbolizes those who both harbor and oppose the power of flame. Then there's the Sunless Talisman. Requires 24 faith. B scaling with faith, C with magic. Intelligence, I mean. Talisman given to the Knights of the Sunless Realms who serve the Nameless Moon. Scales with intelligence, which is rare for a miracle catalyst, but makes it compatible with the dark. In the Sunless Realms, this fact is related first as an initial warning. Then it's got the Unfaltering Prayer. So those are the final items given to you by Cirrus and Hodrick at the end of her storyline. You might be wondering why this happened so late, because you would think that I finished her storyline a long time ago, so it's a little odd that I'm talking to her now. But in reality, what's going on is that she just is at large all the way up until the princes. I believe actually that once you kill the princess is the exact moment she takes her own life. Whereas Hodrick, you killed when you joined her game. You helped her fight Crichton, and then you helped her fight Hodrick. And I think she's there to fight the princes or something. I believe she at least I believe she can probably be summoned to help you fight the princes. And once you defeat the princess, she disappears and she's dead, just like Beatrix or Beatrice, whatever her name was from the first game, who helps you with Moonlight Butterfly and Four Kings, and then is suddenly found dead in a ditch somewhere. Although at least she died at the grave of her father, which does seem to indicate that she took her own life, and that she didn't just straight up die just at random or anything. That hell, they got the same helm as me. It does seem to very specifically imply that she died on purpose, having decided that her duty was done, and she'd taken out her father, or grandfather, I mean, Hodrick, who seems to be someone that she felt responsible for, but who seemed to have gone crazy and was actively killing everything. Gandalf the Grey. Hark. Hexa. That's 2 characters in a row that are using that helm. Everyone's doing their spellcasting run at the same time. I have no idea how easy or hard this is going to be, but I think it'll be. I'm fairly convinced it'll be easier than Prince's, just because it's still a melee boss. Almost everything in this entire game was pretty easy compared to my melee playthrough, and the Princes were very specifically difficult because they could just be on top of you in an instant no matter what. He at least has to chase you, and a lot of his attacks don't quite go that fast. We'll see how it goes though. Might have to concentrate. Hey buddy. That was weird how you had your own health bar for a minute there. Okay. Oh, I got stuck on rock. Oh no. Did not mean to get stuck on random rock. Okay, he actually chases you faster than you can get away. That's noteworthy. That's something to keep in mind. He does take damage nice and fast, though. That's noteworthy for sure. Watch out. Alright. There might be a lot of damage trading going on, unfortunately. Which could be a problem during the Gwyn phase, because the Gwyn phase could combo you in those moments, which will probably be an instant kill moment for me. Woohoo! Quickly, while he's vulnerable. Oh, a transformation. He hadn't done one of those yet, actually. Let's just go ahead and heal preemptively. Right, that was pointless. I should be prepping myself instead. Oh, dodge. Unexpected. Quick heal. Hut. Uh-oh. Mid-air attack. Alright, watch out. Huh. Running! Oh, that wasn't the one. This is the one. Oh, no. Quickly heal. That was not what I meant to do. I meant to do 2. Crap. Huh. Huh. Oh, failed dodge. That's the combo. Don't want anything to do with that, but it should be a vulnerable moment for him. Oh yeah, I win, I think. Oh, hey. Look at you. And so he goes. Yeah, that's more or less what I was thinking was going to happen. Soul of the Lords. Tragic. And so darkness comes. I wonder if I should cosplay. Yeah. This is good for min-maxing stats and everything, but let's see if there's a costume I like for doing an ending. Oh, this is some fun. Dress up as the boss myself. In the Firelink set, at long last. Oh yeah. That's a cool appearance to have.
first flame quickly fades. Darkness will shortly settle. But one day, tiny flames will dance across the darkness. Like embers linked by Lord's Pass. Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Slightly awkward. I didn't think about my torch staying out in the cutscene, which might have had an impact on the visual. So that's the dark ending. And it's about as vague as you'd expect it to be, even for the ending of a trilogy and everything. It's hard to say what happens. People suggest that maybe there are embers out there, and that like without the first flame, that there's actually sources of other fires out there, and that like, other things can grow in the darkness, or who knows. I'm a little tired because I did the princes today. I don't know if that was if that was this episode or not still, because I haven't edited it yet, but I'm worn out from doing the princes fight. But hey guys, this has been my second playthrough of Dark Souls 3, my spellcasting playthrough and New Game Plus playthrough. I've been doing Dark Souls shows on this channel for a long time, so I think I'm going to take a bit of a break and not immediately jump into New Game Plus Plus or whatever next playthrough I might do, because I'll probably do one sooner or later. Which, it might be New Game Plus Plus, I might start a new character from scratch, I'm not really sure. Depends on how far I want to go in on that stuff. But, still expect some Dark Souls in the future. The thing about this channel is that it started with Souls games, and it'll always have more Souls games ongoing, and you probably won't have to wait for a new one to come out for that to happen. I will be playing the DLC when it comes out, both of them. I think there's supposed to be 2 of them, right? I'll be playing both DLCs. I'll be playing previous Souls games. Whenever I find time, I'll go back to them. In this particular moment, my schedule is kind of full, so I would like to take a little bit of a break from Dark Souls and focus on wrapping up some of the other shows I have ongoing right now, and we'll come back to it in the future. Don't know how long it'll take. Could be a few weeks. I'm not. It's hard to make promises because everything in action always takes longer or shorter than you ever think it will. But if you're waiting for my co-op series, more episodes will be coming. That series has been recorded in its entirety, so you may remember my Dark Souls 2 co-op series suddenly ended and never came back. That was because we never met up again. I never got those people to record again, and that was a bummer, but it's hard to do much about that if you can't get other people in your co-op series to keep doing the co-op. It happens. So that ended because the other people didn't follow through, but this one is still in process. We recorded the entire thing, we beat the final boss, it's all done. All I have to do is edit it, which admittedly takes hundreds of hours over the course of the series, so it's a time investment. So new episodes come out when I have time to edit them, and thank you for your patience for that, but expect to have those coming out in the meantime, between now and the next season of another Dark Souls thing. Haven't made up my mind what it'll be. For the sake of Dark Souls 3, feel free to leave comments down below about what type of build you'd like to see me next do. What comes to mind, I guess the options right now are basically to do a pyromancy build, a faith build, a strength build, or a luck build are basically are the options. If I were to do a strength build on its own, I suspect that would, if I do it in New Game Plus Plus, it would probably become a quality build, because which I believe is what happens when you get 40 strength and 40 dex. Because at this point I'm high enough level that going pure strength or pure dex doesn't quite make sense, unless you're gonna willfully ignore that stat for your characters. I'd probably just try to use strength E weapons, despite my stats being relatively even or something. I could do a combination of stuff, like I could be like strength miracle or something like that. Luck could be interesting, because it's supposed to rely on procs and like bleed effects and stuff like that, which are supposed to scale with luck, I believe, or something like that. Don't have it fully planned out. I might do that gimmick run I was thinking of doing, which is the, I'm thinking of calling it the Way of the Blue Finger, or the Blue Dried Finger. The idea is that I would join Way of the Blue, which makes people join my game to defend me, and I would just go through the game cracking dried fingers, and I try to beat my way through the game while being invaded constantly, which could be interesting, because after you played it a few times, most areas of the game aren't the hardest thing in the world once you know it's coming. And so my goal would be to beat the game while being invaded constantly and see how that goes. Which could be amusing, it could be exhausting, I'm not sure. But thanks for watching like always, guys, and be sure to check out my other Dark Souls shows. If you're new around here at all, which most 99.9% of you have to be, because it's virtually impossible for more than a couple of you to have been around since before my first show, because it was like the beginning. But I did one playthrough of Demon's Souls way back in the day, 2.5 to 3 years ago when this channel sort of started. So that's me being significantly worse at these games because of how long ago it was. That was me using a spear, I believe. I did a Dark Souls 1 playthrough with a scythe right after that, so that's me being slightly better, but not much. Then Dark Souls 2 rolled out. I did a miracle build of vanilla Dark Souls 2, which is worth checking out if you're interested. It also features me being really bad at the game for chunks of it and failing to find miracles until after the Lost Sinner, but then the game becomes completely broken because I get so powerful with miracles because it was before the nerf, and you see me just obliterate bosses that are supposed to be hard, which is kind of amusing. I then did a New Game Plus playthrough of Dark Souls 2, which featured a Hex build. I did Scholar of the First Sin after that, as a rapier build, and then Scholar of the First Sin New Game Plus using the Fume Knight Ultra Greatsword. I then did Bloodborne, or not then, I did it simultaneously in this case because Bloodborne came out around the same time. I did a playthrough of Bloodborne with that started out as a whip build, but eventually went towards the Greatsword that you get in the game. I started a New Game Plus playthrough, which is still... It has been on hiatus for a long time, but at some point I'll hopefully get around to that, because the goal of the New Game Plus playthrough is to finish the Chalice Dungeon stuff, which is the only thing right now in a Souls game where I technically have more boss fights to experience that I haven't seen yet. Because there's some way down there. It's just that, damn it, Chalice Dungeons just aren't as good as the rest of the game, even if they do have some cool bosses hiding down there. So that's the type of stuff you can look forward to if you want to go through my backlog of stuff. Otherwise, yeah, there's my main playthrough of Dark Souls 3, and this playthrough of Dark Souls 3 you just finished, so that's less worth mentioning because you've already probably seen it before. But thanks for watching like always, guys. I don't know where Souls games will take us next, but expect more. I will continue to play Dark Souls game on this channel, and during various periods of time I'll go back to play additional playthroughs of older games in the series. It's like, if I don't immediately go back to Dark Souls 3, I might go back and play Dark Souls, Demon's Souls again for the first time in 2 years. Oh yeah, did I mention that I played a co-op series with Wander for Demon's Souls? I think I skipped over that, but I did a Sorcery playthrough with Wander for that. We were trading. We took turns playing levels, basically, is how we co-opted it, because we were sitting next to each other the whole time. I might go back and play Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 1 finally, because I am so much better at these games than I was last time I played those, which would be staggering. I got so much practice from my 4 playthroughs of Dark Souls 2, the game that's all about the rolls. Probably no Dark Souls 2 for a while. I've already played it 4 times, so it's rather low priority. So my next playthrough will probably be Dark Souls 1, Demon's Souls, or Dark Souls 3 again. Or I'll finally get around to my Bloodborne New Game Plus to finish that up. Not sure. So many options! The only thing I can promise you is I'll definitely be back here for the Dark Souls 3 DLCs as they come out. I'll be there day 1 because those are a big priority and I'll be super excited. And I'll try to cover any Souls likes as they come out. Stuff like Lords of the Fallen and Salt and Sanctuary and stuff like that. I have a few games on my docket that I plan on getting to soon. I want to play Aether or Eider or whatever it's called, and there's a few other ones that have names that are hard to remember that I'd like to get to. I want to get around to Dark Mouse, which is already old because I missed it, but I think I want to play that event sooner or later because it's that sort of thing. So anything that I'll be here to play future Dark Souls games. I'll be here to play games that pretend to be Dark Souls games, and we can compare and contrast them because it's fun. Sometimes it's more fun to watch a game pretend to be a Dark Souls game than it is to see a lot of the other subgenres. Because that's the interesting thing about Dark Souls, is that we're kind of witnessing the birth of a subgenre in that way. Dark Souls is kind of its own beast at this point, and I'd like to see where its imitators go, because they can go in some really interesting directions. Sultan Sanctuary was kind of the beginning of that, but it has its own flaws, of course. And man, did it have an even more broken approach to spellcasting than this game did. But thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.